So, hello everyone, welcome to another Premier Corner. This is a show about the Premier League and also it's aimed at English learners. I'm currently in Thailand, which then should explain the not such a great sort of picture and image. I'm sorry about that. Hopefully the sound is okay and hopefully the
Yeah.
internet connection is fine as well. So as you can see, as always, we've got some football fans here. These are none other than Paul and Leontes. Hi guys, how are you doing?
Hi, thanks
Hi.
for having us.
Yeah,
Anytime,
thank you for having us. Can you hear me
anytime.
okay?
We can hear you okay. It's not the best, but I can't complain myself. I would be a hypocrite. So the best mic, obviously, is Leontes' mic. That's without any
Yeah,
shadow
that's
of
a
the
great
doubt.
set. Yeah.
He has the best mic right now. That's pretty clear. So, guys, obviously, Paul is a Liverpool fan, and where is your? Sorry, I don't seem to be well prepared today. I just want to put your Instagram on screen. Footy Talk English. If anybody wants to see some interesting posts about football, I think they're like quizzes, right? You ask a question and then people are supposed to answer.
Yeah, I ask questions. I had a little break for about a month in the um,
Yeah.
in the pre-season, but now I'm back. Yeah, so I'm gonna continue posting regularly
Great.
questions on the back pages of the UK newspapers and explaining some
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the
Lovely, lovely. So obviously this is something you do on the side these days, right? You teach English through football, but it's not your main job.
No. I teach. I am a teacher, and I don't teach English anymore. No, I
Ah,
don't
what do you
teach
teach
English
then?
anymore. I haven't
What do you
taught
teach?
English for about 3 or 4 years.
So what do you teach now?
So I teach all different subjects, really, like psychology, ethics, numeracy. It's a foundation year. I work for a
Ah,
university on a foundation year, so
okay.
students who maybe do not have the entry requirements are offered the chance to do a foundation year. So there's over 6 modules that like we
Okay, lovely. So you are a little bit of a jack of all trades.
kind of, yeah, I can teach it.
I don't
Yeah.
never know if this is like it's a good thing or it could be understood in a disapproving way as well, right?
Jack of all. The full quote is "Jack of all trades, master of none," isn't it? So yeah,
Exactly.
that could describe me.
I'm sure you're the one that knows it all rather than knows everything but not perfectly.
Yeah.
uh, okay, then. So that is you, and then of course also Leontes. This is your second appearance because you joined the first show of this season. Of course,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was with Nrup. So welcome back. And
Thanks.
this is your YouTube channel, and I have also noticed that you are getting big on TikTok.
Yeah. The TikTok is doing quite well, but my best times are when Dutch students have their English exams, which is around May. So then I get lots of views and lots lots of
Yeah.
likes and stuff. And now it's kind of decreasing again because all of them are unfollowing. So that's a pity, but it's
Oh
fine.
yeah, after they failed or passed their exam,
Yeah,
right? They
yeah.
don't care anymore.
No.
Yeah, I think it. Yeah, you're gonna be back when the exam is up again, right?
Yeah. So
Or when they have to repeat the exam or something,
yeah.
they have to
So it's
retake
just
it.
no more exam tips and just the regular synonym Sundays and lots of other stuff.
Lovely, lovely.
Dutch
And
people are really good at English, Leontes, aren't they? Do you teach people English?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. Our students get English from their first years until they do their final exams, either in 4 or 5 or 6 years. And everything here is very Americanized. So
yeah,
everyone watches American television, even though we used to teach British English in secondary schools, but we're kind of moving away from that.
is it because of
Um,
Brexit or something?
no, it's because
Revenge.
people woke up actually and
I'm
realized
joking.
nobody watches BBC. And none
Yeah.
of the young children or young kids watch BBC. Nobody does that. Everybody watches
I
Netflix, and
see.
it's
I
all
see.
American. So
I see. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
It's true that most of the time when I hear Dutch people speak, they don't seem to have a British accent, but rather an accent which is not American, but
Mhm.
sort of has some features of it.
Yeah,
That's more
yeah,
like a generic European accent, I would call it, but
yeah.
it's
Mhm.
closer to American English for me at least.
German too, I think as well.
Yeah,
Mm,
and those
German's
who are very
possibly.
fluent usually speak American English. I've never, well, there are a few, but I've never really encountered someone who has not studied English at university level who would
Yeah.
speak any variety of British English.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Well,
which
you also have
is
a lot of
why.
accents. It's what is even British English, right? Because you've got so many
Yeah,
different.
yeah, of course,
It's
yeah,
so
yeah.
confusing for everyone.
Well, there
Uh,
But that is one reason why I started my channel, really, because in football, people were using American words like Dutch people, German people. I noticed Klopp uses American words
yeah,
to describe football situations, and it was frustrating me
yeah,
because
and obviously you have that wonderful Scouse accent, little bit there. So I think that gives it another flavor, and I think it's great. And there should be more of this. And we should have more guests here who have different accents. I think it's brilliant.
yeah.
So if you're watching this, if you're wondering why you are not here, well, I haven't invited you. You probably, I don't know what happened, but you can always become part of the team if you have things to say,
We should
and if you
try to
so
get Eric Ten Hag, see how
Eric Ten Hag, yeah,
how he gets
and
along.
exactly. I mean, we just need people who can speak decent English and watch the Premier League, or if you are Eric Ten Hag, you can also join. Yeah.
I'm
Okay, guys. So we're here to talk about football, of course. So that's what we're going to do, and we have got our usual segments. You guys know what is going to happen. We're not going to reinvent the wheel today, and obviously your teams did pretty well. You got narrow wins, and that means 3 points. I mean, that's what you need, right, these days, because my team Arsenal only drew 2-2. So we're not gonna talk about that. There is no group, and
no.
this is about you. You're my guest, so let's talk about Liverpool and Manchester United's games today. But first things first, I want to know if there were some other games you guys watched. So where is the thing? Well, give me 1 second. Oh, I see. I even had the wrong layout here. Okay, matches we've seen. Let's go. Who wants to go first?
Well, I did obviously see Man United, Nottingham Forest. Only the second half. I had to rewatch the first half later that day because I wanted to see what happened at the beginning. And I saw the highlights of Man City against Sheffield, Liverpool, Newcastle, and of course Arsenal, Fulham.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That counts. What about you, Paul?
Similar, I saw the highlights for all of the matches, I think. I watched Chelsea on Friday night versus Luton live, and then I don't think I watched any on Saturday. I didn't see the Spurs match versus Bournemouth. We don't have the 3 p.m. kickoffs in the UK, so the early Spurs match I missed, but I did see Sheffield United versus Manchester City. I watched that live, and then Newcastle versus Liverpool. I've watched that 3 times.
Really? Are you kidding me?
Oh,
Twice. I watched it yesterday, and I watched the full match again today.
Okay, that's a proper
Highlights.
fan. That's a proper fan
Yeah.
talking there.
Yeah.
I did not watch the Arsenal game 3 times. I watched it once, and that was more than enough. But I seem to be the craziest person here these days because I have seen a lot of games again, and
In Thailand and Vietnam, you can. It's on the TV, isn't it?
I find a way. I always find a way. Yeah, I'm not gonna say how, but I always find a way. And also, it's about my schedule. I am sort of active at night. I'm a bit of a night owl, so I get to see a lot of matches, and it's just something I like doing, right? So I want to have some fun after a hard week of work. Yeah, so it's nice to always have this weekend that you look forward to, and then you see so many cool matches, and it has become more fun for me to watch the Premier League after starting this show, meeting up with you guys regularly, and also playing the fantasy Premier League. So I now seem to be more into it, even watching teams that are not even my teams. And sometimes I even despise these teams, like Spurs. I think, yeah. Anyway, I watched Chelsea Luton as well, like Paul did, and
That's
Arsenal Fulham.
early.
I'm sorry, Leontes. I know the Manchester United Tottenham, not Tottenham, Manchester United Nottingham Forest game was happening simultaneously, but I chose Arsenal over your game. And but however, I did see the highlights at least to be ready for this show. Then I watched a very entertaining game, Brighton West Ham. I'm a little bit disappointed that I didn't manage to find a guest tonight to talk about that game. The Brighton fans didn't seem to be up for it, and the West Ham fans were a little bit busy. So, yeah. And then Sheffield United, Manchester City. I also watched that because I was curious to see what was going to happen. Surprisingly, Manchester City were not that dominant in the game. And then, last but not least, Newcastle Liverpool, which I thought was arguably apart from the West Ham game, the most entertaining game, let's say. And that's what we are here to talk about today. But first, let me ask you about your biggest surprise of the week. It could be a match, it could be a result, it could be anything, really. It's up to you. It's very flexible, this. All right, who would like to go first?
I will. Okay, so yeah, there were almost a few surprises this week, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
I think Manchester City almost dropped points. Sorry if I cover your answer, Leontes. Arsenal, yeah, they were close to dropping points. Manchester City, Sheffield United had a chance after Manchester City had regained the lead. But I suppose the biggest surprise is it's Liverpool, isn't it? Liverpool winning with 10 men, playing 70 minutes of the match. That's my biggest surprise.
Yeah, okay. I think that's fair. It's fair. It's also your team, so you're a little bit biased, and that's totally fine. I would say exactly the same about West Ham, which is one of the teams I like. One of the two teams I kind of support. So
That was a surprise too, I suppose.
It was also like an amazing game to watch, because if you saw the stats, Brighton had, I think, was it 82% of possession?
Yeah,
82. That's even more than City have normally. It was crazy. And it was all the tactics. We're not going to talk about this game here, but I just have to name it as my surprise of the week, because it was, for me at least. And what about you, Leontes?
Well, my surprise of the week was actually nothing that was played in the Premier League, but it was the fact that United lost 3-0 against Brighton in a friendly behind closed doors match. That was my biggest surprise.
Well, sorry, what match? I missed that. What match was that?
So Man United played against Brighton in a friendly kind of behind doors match at Carrington, the training ground. I think it was Wednesday or so, and they lost 3-0.
Burnley, not Brighton. Burnley.
Oh, Burnley. Oh, okay, I thought Brighton. Oh.
They lost 3-0. Yeah. Ten Hag wanted to play an extra game because of the poor start to the season. So, yeah, they had a behind closed doors match.
Yeah.
And Burnley beat them 3-0. I don't know what the Manchester United team was like.
They had a few regulars. I know that a few non-regulars also played, like Van de Beek and Martial started that game. And then I was also surprised to see Martial start the Nottingham Forest game. So even though they lost, he kind of impressed Ten Hag for some reason. So that was interesting. But then, Zanuck left. Yeah.
Shall we carry on?
So yeah, that was rather surprising, I think.
Are we live, Leontes?
Yeah, I think so. It says live still.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been an interesting start for Manchester United, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, guys, you still have been talking, even though I dropped out. That's great.
I thought kept going.
Okay, well, that's great. I'm glad I'm not responsible for this. So it's something is still happening, even if I drop out. Sorry about that. It might happen again. Okay, then. So do you guys want to sum up for me what you've just said, or?
So I mentioned the Burnley game, that I was surprised that Man United lost 3-0 to Burnley in their friendly match. And then Paul asked whether the regular players played. I mentioned that a few of them played and a few non-regulars like Van de Beek and Martial. And then apparently Martial impressed Ten Hag because Martial also played in the Nottingham Forest game. So
he didn't play well though, did he?
I think he was okay.
Was he?
Yeah.
All right, then. So we have now covered our surprises of the week. And this is the main meat, everyone. Okay, so I'll be honest with you. I think it was easier for me to prepare questions about the Liverpool game, and that's because I saw the game. Yeah. However, I tried, and obviously we can expand as well. And if there's anyone watching right now, and I know there are people watching because I can see it on my screen, feel free, guys, to get involved and send us questions, leave comments. We may even put them on screen here. Don't forget to like the show as well. Right, so game week highlights. Newcastle, Liverpool 1-2. Paul, so you went 1-0 down in the first half, and then things got from bad to worse because Virgil van Dijk was sent off. Yeah, so that was like a disaster start to the game, right? And from that moment on, it looked like Newcastle were dominant, and well, we know what happened at the end. We can talk about it later, but that must have been a horrible watch for you, the first half, right?
Yeah, so like I was texting a couple of my friends, and when Trent was on a yellow card, Virgil van Dijk was sent off. Another bad mistake by Trent again after last week, trying to control it with his left foot. He gave away the first goal versus Bournemouth by doing something similar, miscontrolling it on his left foot. It didn't look good. We're not defending so well. Virgil van Dijk sent off, and it probably was a straight red, a deserved sending off because he just came through. Isak, that's how you pronounce it. It's not Ikea, is it? Isak, yeah.
Isak,
it didn't look good. And I texted this is bad. I texted my friends, this is bad. But because I thought Trent would get sent off, but he managed it well. Trent, I suppose you have to give him credit for not getting sent off after that.
Yeah.
But he was quite lucky, I suppose. But I understand that decision as well. I understand why it wasn't a sending off for Trent, and I understand why it's a sending off for Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah.
And Liverpool grew into the game. I think Liverpool maybe are not good enough at defending high up the pitch anymore. I think we are too exposed, and because we did have 10 men, we had to sit back a little bit more. And that played to our advantage a little bit because we still have dangerous players on the break. So, I think Liverpool played well. I think it was deserved. I think Newcastle were quite poor, really. They had a few opportunities, but so did Liverpool. And I think the substitutes were really good for Liverpool. Elliott and Jota came on, and who have both started the season well. Liverpool's forwards have started the season well, all of them. And now another one, Nunez, has got into the mix and scored 2 amazing goals, really, 2 really good finishes, where last season he missed those chances.
Those were big goals. And one of them obviously they happened late game as well, so that made it even more entertaining for you as a Liverpool fan. And you could see the emotions on the pitch and Klopp and everybody hugging each other. And I mean,
big result. Nobody expected that. 1-0 down to Newcastle.
Exactly. For me, that was great, and for that you deserved it. Also, I think you deserved it because if you're Newcastle and you don't see this game off, you don't kill the game, you deserve to lose. I'm sorry, but you had it on a silver platter, and you mucked it up. So no, you were the right team to win in the end.
Yeah, I think okay. Newcastle had more possession, but they had more players. It wasn't like a Brighton West Ham match. I think it was like 59 possessions for Newcastle. Liverpool played well, and
your keeper also. Let's be honest, your keeper really made some really great saves.
He's a great goalkeeper. He made a really good save to Almiron.
Alisson, against Almiron,
Almiron hit the post as well, and
that was a great individual move as well. That was
amazing. So 3 points unexpectedly, but we'll take them.
Yeah, lovely. Leontes, did you see the highlights, or did you?
Yeah, I saw the highlights and I went through them because I was interested why Virgil van Dijk got the red card.
Because you're Dutch.
Yeah. Of course, he even played at the Groningen, which is where I live, FC Groningen. So that's I always.
So why are you even supporting United? You should be supporting Liverpool.
Well, the story behind me supporting United is because of Ruud van Nistelrooy. So that's why I ended up at United.
I think a lot of people who are not from England, they have a similar story. Like me, it's because of Tomáš Rosický, who played at Arsenal. Yeah. Also, I used to live in Finsbury Park. That's another reason. So I've got two reasons actually. Yeah. Finsbury Park is like very near.
Do you support? Sorry, Zdeněk.
Go on.
For Leontes, do you support PSV?
No. I support I don't really support a Dutch team because I don't think that it's always Ajax that wins, or it's Feyenoord that's winning and PSV is winning as well. But it used to be Ajax, and I think Ajax, Feyenoord, PSV are the only teams that can actually perform at top level. So I hope none of the Dutch Eredivisie fans are watching, but that's my opinion. And Groningen even got relegated this last season, so they play in the Keukenkampioen-divisie this year.
But did Van Nistelrooy play for Groningen?
No, he played for PSV. Yeah. But many players who end up in top tier football played for Groningen, like Luis Suarez played for Groningen. He was scouted from his original country by an FC Groningen scout. The Koemans, both of them, played for FC Groningen. Yeah. Van Nistelrooy played. No, Van Nistelrooy didn't. Robben played for FC Groningen. Oh, wow. Arjen Robben does live in Groningen.
Does he still run marathons, Robben?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
That's quite impressive.
Is it near Amsterdam?
No, it's about 200 kilometers in the north of the Netherlands. Yeah.
Interesting.
Nice. So I watched the highlights, but then I saw the red card issue, the fracas, and I had to think of the Manchester United game where also a red card was handed out, and I thought it's kind of the same because it wasn't really. It's not one of those, full-on tackles like you might do in FIFA or something.
It was a foul though. Like the only question was sometimes I don't like the phrasing of denying a goal-scoring opportunity because I think there is too much room for different interpretations because it's not even about the line anymore. Like usually it used to be like there's a line, and if you're the last person, then it's a denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. But I don't think it's that anymore because they can factor in the speed of the players and things like that. Weird things, Now, it's a bit, the angle, it's a bit shady. And again, it leaves a lot of space for speculations and, honestly.
It's worrying because it's a lazy tackle.
He had to go.
But then again, if there's one player like Rashford running up or Haaland running up to the goal on his own and one of the defenders tackles him, I think, sure, give him a red card. I would do the same if I were a defender. I just tackle and see what happens. But these are shady red cards. I didn't really like them.
And I have to speak about Trent. What happened with Trent as well? I know he got the first yellow was a bit harsh because he actually was fouled. Yeah. But nevertheless, he kicked the ball or whatever. There was some sort of...
It's the new initiative to
the new rule that you give a yellow for
Time waste.
time wasting and
Yeah.
unsportsman-like behavior or whatever it's called. And in that context, I thought he should have been sent off, especially looking at what had happened with our player, Arsenal player, Takehiro Tomiyasu, who was
last
sent off.
week. It was last week.
Yeah, and it was really harsh. Okay, yes, okay, the booking for the delayed throw-in, I get that. Even though he was the last one in a row of players who were passing each other the throw-in, passing the buck. But then the second yellow wasn't even a foul. That was a mistake by the ref, and it was obviously yellows that can't go to the VAR. So it was just so shady.
What minute was Tomiyasu though?
Pardon?
Tomiyasu was sent off in the 70th minute or something. I don't know. It was midway in the second half.
Yeah, it was against Crystal Palace, and it could have.
Like 80 minutes.
60th minute or something. It could have resulted in Arsenal losing the game because we had to then park the bus, and the game, it completely changed the complexion of the game. I'm just saying, okay, I'm not complaining about Trent not getting punished. I think it would have been harsh as well. But I'm just saying this is going to bring problems, these new rules, and I think there will be a lot of injustice done as a result of referees getting this wrong. Because
they were talking about it. So there's been a lot more yellow cards in the first 3 games than in last season. But the time in play last season, it was 54 minutes. The ball was in play for 54 minutes. This season, it's close to 59 minutes.
Yeah.
So I think players are speeding up, which is a good thing. I think time wasting was getting out of control.
Yeah,
they are going to do something about it for sure. It's a good initiative. My problem is that it's so raw, and it's just they don't know how to do it yet. It's going to bring a lot of bad decisions, and it has already happened, I think. And
there's been a few sending offs. I think Tomiyasu was one, and there's another one. I can't remember.
Even McAllister, right? McAllister, but that was something different. That was a red, right?
It's different, but there's been a few sending offs where people have been booked for time wasting for the first yellow card. I think there's been 3 already.
Yeah. And the problem is it changes that player's game, because if you are booked maybe early or in the first half, if you're booked for something like that, well then obviously you have to change your game. You can't defend so tightly, and you can't go into challenges as you normally can. So it's a bit. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Obvious time wasting, and then there's things which it's a habit of playing football. You've always, like, if you give a free kick away, you kind of grab the ball a little bit, or you kind of need to.
Exactly.
It's bad play. If you don't stop the opposition taking a quick free kick, it's your fault. Your coach would not be happy with you. So
Leontes, what do you make of this
now? So
Leontes, what do you?
I think it's as a teacher, it's good to see bad behavior, punished to some extent. But I don't really like what's happening. I think it's really changing the dynamics of the game. I remember the first time when I started to watch Premier League, I thought, well, this is interesting. This is completely different from Dutch football, which is very softish. Everything is booked, and everything was very strict, and it's slow paced. And then I thought, oh, Premier League is fast paced. It's there's some hardmanship going on, if you like. And now that's taken away a bit by all of those strict rules, and the emotions need to be condemned, otherwise you might get a yellow card. So
exactly. It's a bit too much, but at the same time I support it in a way, but on the other hand I'm not so sure about it yet, because it feels like they are not doing it right yet, and it might take a while until they do. And I want to ask you, Paul, like, what do you think this is the right way to do it, or
with the cutting down on time wasting?
Or there's this other idea that you could just stop the time, and then like it is in rugby, yeah, or sports like that.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was getting out of control, the time wasting last season. So many teams were doing it. I think it's good that they are trying to do something. What like they could do that with the time, but that's changing the game completely, isn't it? I think so. Yeah, yellow cards and players eventually getting sending off, so teams don't do it. All
But what
teams
if-
know about it, so
Yeah.
why not?
Paul, what if we just gave VAR a little bit more privileges as well? And what if VAR could also decide on some of the yellows? Would that be okay, or do you think it would undermine the referees?
Yeah, there's some things like as you say. Well, VAR cannot give a yellow card, can it?
No, not now. Yeah.
It can only give a red card. Yeah, it cannot say, oh, it's a yellow card. So, yeah. Right.
But the thing is, sometimes it's the second yellow card, right? Which leads to a red card. So, like, I know, but what if, Leontes, what if at least they allowed to check the second yellow card? Would that make sense to you?
Yeah, I think so. Because, I think, let's say that you get 2 yellow cards and then you get sent off. The punishment doesn't fit the crime, I think, anymore. Because then, the first yellow card is because you took 15 seconds instead of 10. I don't know what the benchmark is, but
that's another thing. It's very subjective.
Yeah, so you took too long to do your
what does it
throw
mean
in.
too long?
So and then you tackle someone, which would have been a yellow card in the first place, and then you get sent off, and then the game changes.
Exactly.
That takes away the dynamics of the game, I think, and it slows down the game, and the players are going to play, a bit more cautiously. They're not going to do the extreme tackles anymore, which they shouldn't, of course. But then, it's good that you have players like Casemiro, who would then do, they are a bit rough, and they are on time and precise most of the time, same as Wan-Bissaka or Scott McTominay. But then I think those players would kind of
suffer.
Slow down and suffer because of these rules.
Yeah, it will kill their game because they have to be extra careful what they do on the pitch, and absolutely. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, guys. I'm torn.
I'm torn. Know this now as well, don't they? The fans in the stadium know about this rule, so if a player is taking extra seconds with a throw-in, they're gonna builds up from the fans, and they're like, whenever the goalkeeper has the ball, the pressure builds up. I think it's good to speed the game up. And with VAR, you want them to get the decisions correct. So if it's using it for yellow cards, why not? Yeah.
Exactly. I think the additional extra time thing is worse. I think that's terrible. Why would you have 11 minutes of additional time? That makes no sense.
Well, it is happening already.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not even when people are time wasting, because if they're getting yellow card for time wasting, people are not time wasting.
Also, it seems a bit random. I don't know how about you, but I don't always understand why some games only it's like 4 minutes added time, and then other games are like 9 minutes.
Mm-hmm. I was surprised. He's gone, hasn't he?
Yeah.
The Newcastle Liverpool match only had 5 minutes.
I think United had 9 or 11, and then I think they had 9, and then there was some sort of issue, and then a few extra minutes came on, were added to those 9. I think
I like that. I know it lengthens the match. The players are not happy because it's like playing extra time, they say. But I like that because a lot of people, when they add 5 minutes or 4 minutes, people then waste time in the stoppage time. And it's never really added on, I think.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see if this is it just the Premier League or in the Dutch league? Do you know, or Serie A?
I don't think the Dutch league does it. I do know that they did it during the World Cup in Qatar, and then we had those additional times of like 13 minutes and stuff. But then again, you should be able to win or kind of lose a game or decide a game in 90 minutes, and then if it's 90 minutes, you have 11 minutes left. It doesn't winning in the additional time doesn't feel like really winning the game. I think it feels like cheating, sort of.
I don't know. I think teams obviously waste time. Newcastle did it last year against Liverpool, and then I don't know if you remember at Anfield it was 1-1, and there was 4 minutes added time, and then Nick Pope went down injured for 2 minutes at the added time. So like Liverpool scored in like the 96th minute or something.
Sometimes it's so blatant, yeah. Sometimes it's like you know that those players are doing it, and yet they are praised for it as well. You know, the fans they are happy they do it. It's I think it's encouraged. That's the
Part of the
problem.
game. Arsenal
part
did
of-
it. Liverpool last year.
I think almost everybody does it. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
some
everybody does
people
it.
do a little bit more, and then
Arteta, I think, has it in
in his locker.
has instructed his players. He's got this kind of mentality within the Arsenal players. It's quite Spanish. It's like win at all costs type of thing. And so, like, staying down.
I have noticed that he's not the most popular coach among the other football fans. I have really noticed
Yeah,
that.
I don't think you hate him, but
No, fair enough. Fair enough. I can see where you're coming from for sure. So obviously, Darwin Nunez 2 goals. Is he gonna start now? Do you think this will help him get into the starting 11?
I don't think so. No, maybe. But like Liverpool's number 9 usually drops deep, and Gakpo has played it well.
Gakpo, yeah. And it also seems to be a favorite, like Klopp's favorite, Gakpo. Yeah,
Yeah, he does. Like he calls him intelligent, and he's an intelligent boy. He's a good family man. I think he's a Christian. Klopp is a big Christian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That sounds like a conspiracy theory. It's
Yeah.
What is the reason for Arteta playing Havertz then? Do we have a similar theory there? Because no fans understand why. Well, we kind of do. His wages. I heard that his wages are like almost 10 times higher than Emil Smith Rowe's wages, for example. Yeah. So then why would you have to play your
Havertz is a strange one, isn't he? Because he was brilliant. Was at Leverkusen in Germany. He was really good at Leverkusen. Everybody wanted him. Chelsea got him, and he wasn't that great at Chelsea. Really,
didn't pull out any trees. Yeah,
like Chelsea struggled with him in the team, and now Arsenal have signed him and put him in the team, and Arsenal are a little bit struggling with him in the team.
It seems like it was Arteta who wanted him as well, which it's a bit weird. Like it's a bit weird now. He almost put himself in this position that he now has to prove that he was right. Yeah, but I think he shouldn't do it at any cost. And at some point, if he's not playing well, he has to take him out of the team. And I think he should be given more time, absolutely. But it's not any good if by playing him, you are making the fans furious because now they are getting angry about this, right? So Arsenal fans, some of the Arsenal fans, they go really crazy very quickly. Yeah. So
does he play as a number 9? I haven't seen it much of Arsenal this year. I only saw the charity shirts.
Something like that. Yeah. It's like
he plays a number 9. So Nketiah, or does he play on the side on the wing?
I think on the wing a little bit, right? Because Nketiah or Jesus are up front, yeah. So they are they're number 10, right? No, number 10, number 9. Number 9 is at
So you've got Saka and Martinelli either side.
Saka and Martinelli on the wing.
So
he's like number 10 or something. I don't know. Something like that. It's weird. It's really weird. I think he's supposed to like hold the ball and create spaces, and also he's like a aerial presence, yeah. So there are some reasons why Arteta plays him. I think it's because he brings something else from everyone else, but he hasn't shown he hasn't shown enough. Yeah. Also, we need some goals, and it hasn't been happening for him. And there's even like one terrible pass that he made. It's social media is full of it.
Playing Partey right back is strange as well, isn't it?
That's because of that's because of Rice, yeah. Because Rice has to play, and I think Rice is really. He's good and he's already showing it, so I understand like he can't play everyone.
He can't need Rice and Partey, and
he could, right?
Yeah, because he did that in the Community Shield. That's the only match I've seen.
The thing is, like, on the one hand, like they are both holding midfielders, right? So that's probably why he can't play them both, and he prefers, even though Declan Rice can also play the box-to-box midfielder, in my opinion, but I don't think Arteta sees him that way.
But is Partey playing well at right back? It doesn't seem like a right back.
Noop, I spoke to Noop. He says that I thought he was praising him, Noop, at first, but I don't think he's doing that badly considering he's been put on the there. But I don't. My issue is like he's playing almost like the inverted one, like Zinchenko from the other side, and it's just obvious that he always like goes to the middle. You know, he doesn't seem to be able to use his left hand to pass the ball forward.
Do Manchester United do that, Leontes? Sorry. So do they invert the fullback? I haven't seen Manchester United this season either. They don't.
No, I don't think so. No.
Seems to be a trend. Liverpool do it. Manchester, Arsenal do it.
It's a bit naturally he's drawn to the middle, so he's right back, but you can see he's always sort of like going there and passing the ball there, and he's like he seems to be like unable to pass it down the line, which I think sometimes can be quite effective if you do it right.
And that affects Saka, I think, doesn't it? Because Saka
exactly
has a bit deeper.
Also I think that's the issue is that I think he likes the ball sometimes a little bit, and that's okay, but that means Saka doesn't have it, right? So that might be an issue, like a clash, because I would rather Saka have it because
I think Salah is affected by Trent moving into the middle because Salah has to drop a little bit deeper. It's supposedly good. I think I've heard Zinchenko talking. People do this because if the left winger then follows him inside, or if the winger follows the fullback inside, it means that his winger, Martinelli, for example, is a one-on-one with their fullback, and that's what he's trying to give. But I think Salah and Saka are further away from the goal. That's my microphone.
No. Fair enough. It's a lot of Arsenal fans are saying now that some of the moves that Arteta has made seem to have disrupted the balance of the team, including Havertz, trying to implement Havertz into the team, incorporate him into the team, and now Partey on the right. The fact that he doesn't seem to play Zinchenko, I mean, maybe he's been injured or something, but it's just a bit weird. And also,
you miss Xhaka, don't you? So I thought Xhaka was.
I don't think we are missing Xhaka because
I know it's a strange one because he's like divided.
He was good. No, he was great, but I don't think that's a problem because honestly, Rice is an amazing replacement, and he's he's better than Xhaka. So.
No, he's a different player, though. I think
different player.
Has more going forward,
but he will offer more than Xhaka. Like he will offer more in the end, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's a better player than Rice. Is a better player than Xhaka.
I think so.
But also, in that system, Xhaka played on that left of the three, which Rice has been asked to do.
Exactly.
What I saw, and the different player.
Yeah, let's talk about United's game. Let's give Leontes a chance to talk here. Like I said, I didn't watch the game, but I did notice immediately as I was watching the Arsenal game, they were showing the scores from the other matches, and United were 2-0 down a few minutes into the game. Like, what happened there, Leontes?
Yeah, what happened? I think the United defense stayed home. That's for sure. I wanted to say Maguire, but he wasn't on the pitch, so we can't blame Maguire this time.
Again.
No, I think the first goal was a very nice counter by Nottingham Forest.
Yeah. Have you seen the memes for Onana for that goal?
Yeah, I saw Onana with Max Verstappen's car as well, race car, that one.
And then there's also one with like a frog sound because he does a little jump, doesn't he? He does like a little jump to the side, and then he falls back.
Yeah. I have to be honest. I'm not impressed by Onana. I'm not impressed by Onana. I don't know why Ten Hag wanted him so badly.
It was hopeful. Not hopeful, but like I thought he would be good. Like,
Yeah, he was good at Ajax. He was
I
great at
still think
Ajax.
I still think he will be very good for you. That I'm gonna call it here. I think this is a great signing. That is my personal opinion. I see a lot of potential in this goalkeeper and the ability to pass the ball. He seems to be a bit
Yeah,
cocky, so maybe if you tone down his personality a little bit, amazing keeper in my
yeah.
book at least.
But I think where De Gea was very good with his hands, Onana is better with his feet. But some of the, De Gea made some saves that I thought, oh wow, that's excellent. And I think, just a guess, maybe De Gea would have had the first goal. I don't
Yeah,
know. Um, but then again, he did make some good. He did do some good footwork in the game. So yeah, the second goal was. I think United, as soon as they are behind in a game, they're kind of off guard. As soon as they caught off guard, that they forget how to play or something, or they're unable to get back into focus, which they were able to do last season quite often, and the season before that as well.
they always come back.
Yeah,
Don't they? They conceded the first goal lots of times.
yeah, but this time, I don't know. I think they're caught off guard, and then
yeah,
they forget what to do. I noticed that Ten Hag made a few changes, so Martial and Rashford switched positions, which I thought was weird, because why would you change something? Why not stick to your game plan and then try to move forward from that? But for some reason, after the 2-0, they did play quite well. They were able to hold possession for quite a long time. And I noticed when I was watching the highlights of Manchester City that I thought at some point this looks like United, right?
yeah.
Lots of chances, but no goals,
Mhm.
which is also a United kind of thing. So I really hope for Ten Hag, especially for Ten Hag, that they are able to turn things around and really
Yeah.
become the title contenders that they might be, because they have
Mhm.
good players. I don't know
Yeah.
what Rashford is doing, but
He got 2 assists though.
yeah, he did get 2 assists, so that's nice. Yeah.
In that match, no?
The match winner,
Um,
the match winning goal was a penalty. Bruno
Yeah.
Fernandes's penalty.
Yeah.
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 But I thought like that was a good sign of you turning it around. I mean, Nottingham Forest, not a bad team, and 2-0 going 2-0 down at home is not a simple
No.
situation. It's not an easy situation to be in, and you turned it around. There was enough time for you to do it, but you still
Yeah.
have to do it. So a lot
But
of these
I
teams
really
are very
don't
good at
like when
defending, and
United
you pulled
win.
it off.
I don't like when they win from a penalty. If it was the first goal that was the penalty, fine. Okay, good stuff. But I don't like when they win on a penalty, because I think that doesn't show that you're able to do it the natural way. The
Well,
way it should be done.
I
With
wouldn't.
nice football, nice
Yeah.
goals, and I did like some of the chances that they were able to create. Those were very nice. That Casemiro didn't finish at some point was a miracle, right? He was right in front of the goal, open goal, and he didn't, just
But
to knock it in with his head. So
nevertheless, he did equalize. So
yeah,
Casemiro
yeah,
got his goal. Yeah.
yeah.
Are they
Okay.
playing better or the same as last year?
Good question. Yeah.
Because I didn't see them play that well last year. They were good in patches against some teams, but in big matches
It's
they weren't
it's like
good.
it's pragmatic, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
for me, like that's how I see it. It's very pragmatic. There's no romanticism about it, but it
No.
might work. It's like look at David Moyes, what he's doing now. So Ten Hag is like Moyes 2.0.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that it's so pragmatic. I think it's if your team like United with its name, its history, and you really want to compete with a team like City and Liverpool and Arsenal, then you need to have some sort of touch, je ne sais quoi in your game. And of course, it's Ten Hag's second season, so we might give him the benefit of the doubt, but it lacks something. It lacks a signature. It lacks a real signature of some sort, a United style, which shouldn't be the same as Ferguson's style, but it lacks something that you could say, right, this is a United game.
I agree. Maybe you need Greenwood back. Bring him back from the dead.
Well, I went on Twitter about Greenwood, or on X, or whatever it's called, and so I thought that he wasn't persecuted. So I thought, well, fine, he didn't do anything. He had a baby with the same girl. I thought, fine, he was kind of found not guilty. And then I went on Twitter and I asked this question, but wasn't he found not guilty? And then I got lots of trash over me. So I was a rapist defender, and I thought but I simply asked the question because I thought that he was really, if they looked into it and he was found not guilty, he was innocent. Why?
He wasn't found not guilty. The charges were dropped.
The charges were dropped. I think the witness, the key witness, he walked away or something like that. Yeah. So that is
they do have a child together.
That is actually quite suspicious, already. Yeah. Like, as I said in the previous show, there's no smoke without fire, in my opinion, and it just shouldn't be happening. And you just can't do this. It's of course you can't. Whatever he did, like I don't know. Yeah, good question. Innocent until proven guilty. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he was forcing himself, and he was like, you probably listened to the recordings and things, and he's forcing her to do things and saying, "Do this, do that," and it's all recorded, and she's saying, "No, I don't want to," and just do it. So,
unless it was some kind of a game, like, but I'm not here to judge this. But
no, we shouldn't do that either. But I thought it was so weird to.
In the light of what happened with Kurt Zuma kicking his cat, like, this is way worse.
Yeah,
that's not way worse.
Well, the cat.
No, this is
not way worse.
Okay, well, we might be getting somewhere. Digging ourselves into a hole. So let's.
No, but I think in the end, I think it's a good decision that he's leaving. It would have been credible if he would have played, right? I mean, nobody would really think that it was a good decision to have him stay with the team and play. They wanted to do it. Yeah.
That statement last week was you read that statement and it was like, these are going to bring him back here.
Yeah,
going to come back into the team, back into the squad. And then there was a bit of a backlash, wasn't it?
And then there was a rumor that he could be going to Tottenham as well. Tottenham would always sign like such weird players.
But I don't. Where does he go from here? I've seen reports about Albania, the Albanian league. Does he go to La Liga? Does he go to the Dutch division? Where does he go?
Saudi Arabia. If he goes to Saudi Arabia, it will work out really well for him there. And I'm not going to say more than that.
I don't think Saudi Arabia would have him because Saudi Arabia, like, a trying sports washing, isn't it? What Saudi Arabia are doing, trying to improve the reputation of their country, and getting a player like Mason Greenwood.
He would do the opposite. Bad joke. Okay, I admit, bad joke from me. I guess I'm not here to tell jokes. So why don't we talk about our heroes and villains of the week, guys, quickly?
Nunez.
Makes sense. Yeah. What a chant, by the way. What a chant. Very, very, very original chant. A lot of good lyrics there. Yeah. Just Nunez.
Yeah. It's
fantastic,
isn't it?
Fantastic melody. And I really admire this.
That's what he is, though. He is Nunez.
What's the significance of that? Why can't he get a better chant? Like, what's this?
He may do, but like, yeah, it's just because he doesn't play so much, does he?
Yeah.
But Captain Chaos, people have called him. Whatever, like, he's just chaos when he comes onto the pitch. He's
like Antonio,
chaos follows.
Similar to West Ham's Antonio. He's like that as well sometimes. Yeah. Okay then, Leontes.
So my hero of the week, I don't know for sure. I think Pope or Fodringham.
The
if
Pope?
That's well pronounced.
You mean
was really good, wasn't he?
You're not talking to the head of the Christian church here, are you?
No. Not the Pope.
Okay, yeah, I know. I'm just joking.
Because I thought they were both excellent. They really kept their fort clean for as long as possible in both games. So I don't know whether which of the
for
two.
Newcastle.
Yeah, I thought that was. Yeah, I thought it was. I think in the highlights. So that's
That's a bit weird. Yeah, it's a bit. The choice is a bit weird.
Yeah.
Fotheringham was really good though. I watched that match, and he made.
Who's that?
And
Who's
the Sheffield
Sheffield
United
United.
goalkeeper. He made
What's his name?
Fotheringham.
Fodringham.
Fotheringham.
I think Fotheringham. Or,
Yeah. Well, they were really close. Sheffield United, when they scored that equalizer, I was really happy, but then it didn't happen because Haaland. Yeah.
Big chance after.
Yeah.
As well.
Was it Haaland scored the first? Haaland scored the first one.
He missed the penalty.
Yeah, he missed the penalty, and he scored the
In the
first goal.
match.
And then who scored the winner for City? Remind me, please.
Rodri.
Rodri. Oh yeah, I got that.
Always, yeah.
Top corner finish. He always does that.
He's good. He's very
He's good. Yeah, he's a very good player as well. Yeah, I agree. So, okay, then. Well, my hero of the week has got to be David Moyes. Yeah, I may have said David Moyes last week. I'm just impressed because what he had to go through as the manager of West Ham, how the fans turned against him, despite him finishing 7th and 8th in 2 consecutive seasons, then winning the Europa the Conference League, getting a trophy to West Ham, to a team. Let's not beat around the bush. They are not top 6 team, and they shouldn't be getting trophies like on paper, right? And even Tottenham is not getting any trophies, and West Ham got a trophy. So I had to mention that. So despite that, he doesn't have the best reputation among fans because of his play style, because of his stubbornness. And yet, look at the way they started the season. They beat Chelsea. Now they beat Brighton, the team who were top of the league, the team that has been playing fantastic football under De Zerbi. Oh, the tactic he employed on that pitch, spot on. Counter-attacking football, very, very good team selection, and it all worked like a clockwork. It was just perfect. The goals they scored,
So are you a West Ham fan this season then, Zene?
I am both West Ham fan and Arsenal fan, as you guys know. So.
Yeah.
I may not get away with it.
Actually, they're not. Moyes' style is not the most attractive.
No, I agree. But I think
and wanting to be entertained.
I agree. But the credit should be given when the credit is due, and now the credit is due because I thought it was like a masterpiece of tactics, and it just worked. They were so desperate.
If it was Mourinho, that's what people would say. Yeah, the media would be more gushing with their place.
But the way they just dealt with those counterattacks, it was just pure class. The goals they scored, they were so beautiful. All those 3 goals, they had just so much in it. Like watch the highlights. It's just so beautiful.
Making West Ham sound like Barcelona here.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's move on. I mean, I will get away with this on my show, I guess, but let's move on. So I will give it to Moyes then. Now, villains of the week.
I'm going to go with the United defense, all of them. Yeah.
As usual.
Who is playing instead of Varane? Varane
I think he did Lindelöf on Saturday. Was it Saturday or Sunday? Saturday. I don't know who's going to play. I saw that there was an update. I haven't read it yet. I don't know what happened.
Is Varane injured?
Yeah, I think so. Let me check.
Are you including Maguire? You said Manchester United defense, so I assume you're including Maguire in it, even though he was sitting on the bench.
No Maguire this time. No Maguire.
People are unhappy that he's not leaving.
Yeah.
There's still rumors. There's some negotiations going on with West Ham, but I'm not so sure about it anymore.
But I think he doesn't want to go, Maguire.
Yeah, exactly.
Fans are unhappy with. They're saying like we need the transfer money. We need some money.
He wants to keep the money. I think he's just like taking the money. That's it. All right.
Yeah.
Are you checking something, Leontes? Or?
Yeah. So he was injured And let's see. He had complaints. We didn't want to risk him. We know we have Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof, good replacements. So we don't take the risk.
So we
Okay.
Wan-Bissaka played well.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
right?
he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I think, if you go 2-0 down in less than, what was it, 10 minutes, that's not beautiful. That's ugly.
No. Yeah,
Do you
makes
like
sense.
Lisandro? Sorry, I'm asking you.
Go on.
Do you like Lisandro Martinez?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I think he really added something to the team.
That
Um,
will to win.
And I also think that in the first 3 games, Wan-Bissaka really has improved. I know that last season people were complaining about Wan-Bissaka, but now he's doing his Wan-Bissaka-like thing again with the tackles and.
He's amazing. Has
Yeah,
anybody taken him on? Has anybody gone past him? I don't know of anybody.
No.
I don't think any winger has ever gone past him.
No. Even when the stakes are really, really high in the Champions League, he does excellent. Yeah.
He's a great defender.
Okay, what about you, Paul? Then
Villain of the week. I don't know. Everton's forwards. Let's say Everton have had a tough start to the season, but they've actually played well in a couple of the games.
They're just such an unlucky team, right? They just keep losing.
Chances.
It's in the head,
They cannot put away any chances. Yeah,
it's a mental issue now. I think they need psychologists. Yeah, you do.
So they're going to struggle, and it'll just be whether there are 3 teams that are worse than them. And is it Luton? Is it Burnley?
Yeah, well, it's early days. Yeah, it's early days, but you can already see that Everton are probably going to be there again, and thereabouts. Okay.
Losing to Wolves. Who was the first match that they lost to? It was at home. They've lost 2 matches at home against
Fulham.
Mid-table Fulham. Yeah. Mid-table teams.
You need at least a draw.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my villain of the week is going to be Mikel Arteta, and I may have already mentioned a few things. I think he's just too stubborn right now, and also sometimes I'm not always convinced the way he's sort of answering the journalists when they ask him. There's too many he's trying to. It's called smoke and mirrors, right? Smoke and mirrors, too much disinformation. He's trying to, instead of answering in an honest way, he's for example, there's this situation with Gabriel who started almost every single game last year, and now he doesn't play, and he keeps saying that it's some kind of what does he even say? It's a tactical choice. It just doesn't sound like it doesn't make any sense. It's completely out of the logic, is out of the window, because tactical choice. The player that was instrumental to you doing so well last season, now he hasn't started any of the games. Gabriel, come on, the Brazilian Gabriel Magalhães.
Yeah, and he's playing Ben White, centre back, who's a good player, I think.
That's okay. Well, Ben White should start, but he even put Partey on the. It's just it seems like it's everyone else. Tomiyasu was playing. Everyone else but Gabriel. It's just something is going on.
I think there was interest in Gabriel. He might be transferred. The Saudi league were interested.
Something is going on there. I don't like that he doesn't say it as it is. It just doesn't seem to be honest. I don't know. And just the way he didn't win the game, I guess. Mikel Arteta for me.
Possibly. Maybe.
Sorry. Go on.
Go on. No. Go on. Possibly he wanted to go, Gabriel, to Saudi. His head was turned a little bit.
Who doesn't want to go to Saudi these days?
Yeah, quadrupling your wages.
Mohamed Salah is the next.
Maybe punishing him in some way, or some kind of there's been some kind of disagreement. He's not committed to the team, and he's interested in going to And Arteta is all about building this team and these psychological.
Discipline and non-negotiables, and we have seen it in the documentary. Okay, guys, let's have a look at the FPL quickly. Right, so the FPL Fantasy Premier
It's the
League.
worst part of the entire show.
It's so frustrating, isn't it?
What's frustrating, the game? Or?
The game, yeah, because
how come? I'm in the 5th place. I'm not doing that badly yet, but yet. This week was my weakest. Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I always end up at the bottom of the league.
Oh, you are 2nd from the bottom. You're fine. Look, 106 points.
Shall we play a wild card now, Leontes? Let's give you some advice.
You had Virgil van Dijk. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unlucky.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Yeah, I just made a few changes for next week, so I took him out.
Well, Trossard doesn't even play, man. Like he's not a starter. Like he started last game, but yeah. Alexander Arnold doesn't justify his price tag. He's just not good enough. Yeah. Onana, you're unlucky because I also have Onana, so you're unlucky with him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, these play like Reed. I'm not sure if I would play Reed.
Reed is a holding midfielder.
Yeah, I wouldn't play.
I just
Reed.
had a few points left, so I just made it.
Even Bernardo Silva doesn't normally get.
You need a wild card, Leontes.
You need a wild card, yeah. Just change your team completely, man.
Yeah.
It's not good enough. Or just
Dyer's not playing. I know he's on your bench.
Who's not playing?
Play. Eric Dyer.
Let's have a look at your team then. You're in the 8th place.
No, well, then I should be winning the whole competition if I was a better manager because
you had cash on bench.
I had cash on the bench. Last week I had 28 points. If you look at last week, this week I had like 24. Well, 24 points on the bench. Last week I had 28 points on the bench.
So why don't you play the bench boost then? Play the bench boost cheap.
And then the first week I didn't captain Haaland. Like I just did a last minute decision, didn't captain him.
Yeah, that's
like there's a couple of things that I could have had maybe 20, 30 more points.
Let's be honest, this game is sometimes a little bit random, yeah. So honestly, like, look at it. Yeah, not very good at all. I got a few points here and there, but very, very disappointing. Very disappointing. I expected Jackson to get more points. Haaland, but he obviously missed a penalty, so that's like minus how many points? -4. Or -6 maybe even.
Everyone captained Haaland though. If Haaland gets points or not.
-2 times 2, yeah. -4. That's right. Yeah, Haaland doesn't change much, right? Because everybody captains him. Yeah. And I decided to sell Rashford. I decided to sell Rashford.
I'm thinking about it. I think he may score against Arsenal. I know maybe you sold him playing your team.
He's just too expensive, and I bought Sterling because of the fixtures they have. Like, look at the fixtures.
Sterling's confident, isn't he? Yeah, at the moment.
He got, like, I know a lot of people have jumped on the bandwagon now because he got like maybe almost 20 points, but I just think like he's a good choice because it's good to triple up on Chelsea because of those fixtures. And who else would you get from Chelsea, from the Chelsea team? I don't know. So
Enzo.
Yeah, but he only because of the penalties, right?
If I could choose 3 people from Chelsea, I'd choose Gusto.
Yeah.
Gusto, Sterling.
The thing is, though, Gusto is not gonna play when James comes back. Yeah, so it's like a only short-term punt.
But James is out for another few weeks at least.
Yeah, I know. Like Gusto got a return as well this week. Yeah. Okay, guys. I guess that's it. Thank you very much for featuring today, for telling us about your teams. It was lovely to catch up with you as always.
Yeah, nice to talk to you, Danny.
Yeah. Anytime. I'm quickly gonna do the language corner, but I'm gonna keep it short. And yeah, guys, take care. Speak to you soon.
Thank you. Bye bye. Good night.
Bye bye.
See ya.
Okay, guys, the language corner. I have written down a few phrases that I'm gonna go through. This is the part of the show where I'm teaching you some stuff, and sometimes I don't catch it exactly as it was said, so I apologize for that if it's not the exact words. But let's get down to business. Okay. Sorry, I can't actually. I only have like 4 phrases today. Okay, because I forgot. I deleted one by accident. That's why. Okay, sorry about that. Let's do this one. Sheffield had a chance after Man City regained the lead. I think this is what Paul said. So to gain something means to obtain, to get something, to get the lead, and regain means you get the lead back. So they were in the lead, then they lost the lead because Sheffield United equalized, and then City regained the lead, and after that Sheffield had a chance to equalize again. So regain is like get the lead back, right? To lead again in the game. Easy, okay. We were talking about Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think Paul said that he gave the ball away. Oh, he gave away the first goal. Sorry, he gave away the first goal. If somebody gives away the ball, that person loses the ball. If somebody gives away the first goal, that person is at fault for conceding that goal. That person is to blame for that goal, right? So if you give away a goal, you are the person who can be blamed for your team conceding that goal, right? Okay, then. So that's that. And then I said you had it on a silver platter and you mucked it up. I can't remember who I was talking about. Oh my God, who was I talking about? I think maybe I think I was talking about Newcastle. I said Newcastle deserved to lose because they were in a comfortable position. You have it on a silver platter. If you have something on a silver platter, you are in a very comfortable position. You're expected to see the game off. You're winning. It should be easy. The opponent is one man down as well. Yeah, so that was exactly the position that Newcastle were in. So to have it on a silver platter is like you have such an easy situation, and then you mucked it up. If you muck something up, you mess it up. You f it up. You fail. You fail. Another way of saying it is that you fail. Okay, and here's the last phrase. Even if the stakes are really high, he does really well. I believe it was Leontes talking about one of his players, one of the Manchester United players. I believe it was Martinez. I think he was talking about Martinez. And he says that even when the game is really important, when the stakes are high. So when stakes are high, this I think this comes from betting. This is a phrase that comes from betting. High stakes, you bet a lot of money, and that's like a really, really sort of situation which is really stressful, and you have to really get a result because it's the most important moment, maybe of the season, the most important games. That's when the stakes are really high. And then apparently this player, I think it was Martinez, he does really well. He plays well under pressure, basically. Guys, that's it from me for today. Sorry about my voice and connection issues. And thank you very much for watching. Please leave a comment. Why not? Why not leave a comment? Say anything you like. You can even use the phrases that I've just shown you. And I will speak to you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.